Hello and welcome to the Backpage Pass Gameweek 14 review. That's right, it's been a whole hour since you've heard from us, unless you listened to Gameweek 13 on Friday and then clicked on this immediately afterwards, in which case it hasn't really been that long. I'm John O'Donnell and I've been joined once again by Mark Corcoran and Owen Grace.
We didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, no.
In case you were wondering. We just talked.
We've all been sat in the same place.
Yeah, we were talking about dirty protests and stuff.
We're going to review the midweek Premier League games and then take a quick look ahead to the coming weekend's fixtures for you, and then get the hell out of here because I reckon the lads are a bit sick of me being stuck in a room with me.
I'm just tired and hungry, and I want my bed.
Yeah, it's Mark's general state. Really. Tired, hungry, want my bed. Right, enough dilly-dallying.
Dilly-dallying? What are you talking about, John?
We'll start at the beginning of Harry Redknapp's QPR career. Sunderland 0, QPR 0. Harry's first game in charge, and a mixture of Hughes and Warnock players.
And also drab 0-0 draws. He said after maybe it was today he said it, but that they're going to keep Tarat, that they're not going to sell him. Despite
really?
United apparently made a bid. I was like, no! But he wants to keep him, but...
he'd never made a bid for Tarat.
Well, when they got promoted, United were trying to get him.
Maybe
but the point being that they'll need him to be flying on, on all cylinders, or firing on all cylinders, because they don't look like they can score a goal. Really, they really look like they're struggling to score. And they were playing against a team who also struggled to score. So it was 0-0 was massive surprise. No.
And Owen, what do you think of Harry's appointment?
Yeah, obviously he's a better manager than Hughes, and he did a great job at Portsmouth, keeping them up and winning the FA Cup with them, and Spurs as well,
and kind of leaving them in financial ruin.
Yeah, that as well.
Southampton.
Yeah, didn't go too well at Southampton. But no, he's got a tough job on his hands, but he got his first point, and he said he's very happy. At least they didn't lose away from home.
Fair play to QPR for snatching Harry out of the clutches of Ukraine.
Because he was always going to Ukraine. That wasn't just
that wasn't a ploy to get more money in his contract.
Sunderland's still not scoring. How long is it before Harry's linked with Martin O'Neill's job?
How long is it before you stop being happy that Sunderland can't score goals? Well, I don't know. Redknapp, he's just linked with every club seems to want him, and he's linked with every job, because he was linked with the Newcastle job not that long ago.
I think he was offered it. He
was.
No, I'm not going there. It's too shady financially.
And that says something. Harry Redknapp. Oh God. I don't know. Like I'm skeptical that he'll keep them up, because I still think the clubs that are QPR, Southampton, and Reading are going to go down. Even though, I think he'll make a good go of it, but he's 14 games into the season, no wins.
He took over Spurs at a similar position.
No,
it was
much earlier.
But he got them into the Champions League.
You
just have to not get relegated.
Yeah, but he had decent players there.
There's Granero.
Yeah, decent player.
They're a lot of team though, because they're relatively new teammates and they haven't gelled at all.
And there will be a whole new set of players in January as well.
Yeah.
Didn't Cesar, for example, get injured there? And Rob Green, a pissed off goalkeeper that was signed because he thought he was going to be number one, and so he's number two. So he's there. So that's just a glimpse of the problems that he's got there, and he's going to look to buy his own players in January. So what are they going to do? Go down, I think.
Yeah. And the other relegation, the other relegation 6-pointer that happened on Tuesday night was Aston Villa 1, Reading 0. Owen told me last night that he didn't think the game deserved a goal.
That's harsh. I thought it wasn't actually so bad a game, but the problem for Reading was that I thought they set up to win the match, particularly first half. But after maybe an hour or 70 minutes, they kind of thought, a 0-0 draw away from home isn't a bad result. And that's probably what cost them, because Villa nicked a late goal. They just showed that little bit more desire to win the game.
Then Stephen Earle and Albrighton came on around that time and just kind of really started. Lambert went for it, as opposed to Reading, who went.
You keep making your kind of claw hand. They went for it.
Went for it. I'm just frustrated.
Yeah, they took off Brett Holman, and in fairness to Stephen Earle, he got at the defence a lot more than Holman did in the first half.
Why did Holman even start ahead of Ireland?
you got Australian Player of the Year last week. Maybe that was a factor.
Also, Stephen Ireland's a jerk, so you never know what was going on.
Yeah, you don't know what.
Jerk.
Yeah, I like that.
Adam Lafondra played very well.
Lafondra did play. Lafondra's a good player.
Yeah, he was the only one that had any of the chances for Reading. He had 4 or 5 shots. Kept out by Guzzi.
Roberts ran the channels well and did good old fashioned English
Pushing.
centre forward stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
just bumped the fullbacks around a bit.
Yeah,
Didn't
well,
really get anywhere,
when he came off, they were a lot more. Really worked for him going forward.
though.
They had a hunt on as well, so they were playing long balls in the hunt, which doesn't really work when
It's a
you're
good leap on him.
good leaf on him. Yeah,
But you
so-
can't do anything with it. Like
Yeah.
you'll head it up in the air.
Right. Anyway, Wednesday, Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Chelsea looking pretty toothless for a team who spent about 80 million on attackers during the summer.
Yeah, and you couldn't have wished a worse start. Okay, maybe they could have lost, but if Risa had finished, they would have lost. But 2 drab, like a 0-0 draws, they didn't create anything against Fulham. Poor Benitez, it's just not happening for him. He very badly needs to win that World Championship.
Well, I think it's as much his own problem as
When he left Mata out,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he brought in Bertrand for Mata to try and tighten things up at the back.
was Mata just tired. He's been
He's played a lot of games and he was at the Olympics as well as the Euros this year. So he could have hit the wall, as they say, professionals.
redlining, as Arsene Wenger would say.
but maybe the suggestion as well was that Hazard looks tired more than Mata, so maybe they should have played a half each or something like that.
Maybe giving Marin a start.
Yeah, he came on late. I think we should have
Or
started.
Victor Moses, who I think was
Nah,
the
not-
only player Di Matteo was allowed by. Was Victor Moses.
Or that was a poor call, Victor Moses.
Yeah, I wouldn't have bought him.
No.
No.
Or Daniel Sturridge, put him in the team, give him a go. Nah,
Yeah,
poor result for Chelsea. And how far are they behind now? I think they're about seven points.
points. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not impossible for them to come back because, of course, both United and City turned around 8-point deficits closing in the season last year. So it's by no means over for them, but they need to start turning around quickly.
I saw a heat map of Torres versus Berbatov. I'll have to put it up on their Facebook page. If you
heat
wanna have a
map?
look. Heat map of like where they moved around to.
Where they got most excited and stuff like that.
Anyway, Berba covered twice as much of the pitch as Torres, and he had twice as many touches. Like if Berbatov is doing twice as much as you know there's something wrong.
Well, Berbatov kind of likes to get the ball and give it and just...
Saunter back.
Yeah.
Position.
Whereas Torres was probably told, here, you stay within the width of the box kind of thing. You just stay there and we'll get the ball up for you. So,
But they didn't.
no, they didn't. But that's probably weeks and weeks of Di Matteo training that he's trying to reverse in 1 week.
Well, they worked together before. It must have been a case of like, remember what you used to do, where you'd kick it and it'd go in the net. Do that. Do
Yeah.
whatever you were doing in the build up to that again.
Yeah, Benitez and Torres were together, but Benitez
Yeah.
and the rest of the Chelsea team weren't.
Yeah, fair enough.
And they had Gerrard behind him, who he had a chemistry with. He had Oscar playing in the same role the other night, but just behind him, and it didn't really work.
They swapped Oscar and Hazard, and Benitez doesn't seem to know who he wants to be. His Gerrard.
Yeah, that'll take time.
Be my Gerrard.
Yeah, that's a really game.
Moving on. Everton won, Arsenal won, Ramsey setting up Walcott for the goal. Arsenal fans must be confused. They're meant to hate those guys.
Two quick goals last night, and two teams that didn't kick on from getting a good lead. But again, like Everton is a difficult place to actually go and win, as United saw the first day of the season. But again, that's a disappointing result for Arsenal that they couldn't kick on and win the game.
And I said Arsenal fans aren't supposed to like Ramsey and Walcott. They've decided they don't. They've decided they do like Vermeulen. And he just gave Fellaini way too much space for the goal, didn't he?
Yeah, they stood off him, and he shouldn't have got a shot
No,
away.
not they. Vermeulen
Well-
specifically stood off him.
Yeah, well, there was one or two defenders dotted around there that could have closed the space for him, because he was the only one really coming forward with the ball. But yeah, Vermaelen should have closed him down.
Should Mertesacker in general be, because you would imagine he'd be the stronger player, be near
Beyond, yeah.
Fellaini.
Well, that's what they did. They kind of moved Fellaini out to Arsenal's left side, so
Yeah.
Mertesacker was on the other side. Probably coping with Jelavic.
Yeah, I just sort of thought you put the kind of physical with the physical.
Yeah.
Well, Bernal is physical, but not as tall as Fellaini. So,
and the thing is, their Arsenal's defensive midfielder is Jack Wilshere. So, like, he's hardly going to challenge Fellaini in the air.
I'm sure Vermaelen knows him from training as well with the Belgian national team.
Yeah. Should have been.
That's true, yeah. I stand corrected.
Yeah. Take that, Mark.
You don't know what you're doing.
Speaking of you don't know what you're doing, Southampton and Gaston Ramirez's team against Norwich.
Very sharp.
Against Norwich, finished 1-1. Atkins was on the brink of being sacked 2 weeks ago. What's changed in the last 2 weeks?
Was he though?
The media would have us believe he was on the brink of being sacked.
What? It's similar. Maybe it's a similar thing that happened to Norwich, because not that Norwich had a dreadful start to the season and then they just put a run of games together. So you get a bit of form, you get a few results, and things can turn around quite quickly. Plus, they would have been encouraged by the fact that they're right in the heart of a relegation battle, whereas QPR are kind of getting a little bit cut away. So they kind of think if we can string 1 or 2 wins together, you can move up the table quickly. Norwich will be very disappointed. They lost John Ruddy for I think 3 months. Yeah, so I think he was a big part of actually what was going on, why they were so strong defensively.
Bun came in and played well though, didn't he?
Yeah, but
I just like saying Bun as well.
Yeah, 2 ends. I don't like it. Yeah. I don't trust them. But I don't. When was the last time Norwich conceded more than 1 goal?
I don't know. Well, they're 8. Is it 8 games unbeaten now?
Yeah, it must be 9 games ago then. Because that's
they don't score more than 1.
Yeah, but it's been the secret of their kind of success of creeping up the table.
Well, the last game they lost was that Liverpool game, I think. So.
What was the score?
5-2.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there we are.
What an idiot I am.
Southampton need a new keeper though, don't they? Because that Argentinian lad just isn't up to it.
No, that was a terrible mistake for the goal. The free kick went right under him. I don't know how he managed that, but they've got Artur Boric and...
I think Boric was only emergency loan, so he's gone back.
He's gone back now to Russia.
I thought he was in Italy.
Fiorentina, that's it, yeah, sorry.
That's it.
Apologies.
He's Polish.
I know, yeah.
Racist. They had a big pole in the goal.
He was getting in everyone's way.
Couldn't see
that's a joke towards the previous podcast.
Oh yeah, this is the previous podcast. We only told it 20 minutes ago to each other. But
I was actually quite disappointed with Boric, because after he left Celtic, went to Fiorentina, a big club in a big league. But he seemed to be, form was very good at Celtic, and all the rest. You thought he could do well at a big club, but Southampton, he seemed to be a shadow of the goalkeeper I remember watching with Celtic. So what happened to you, man? You used to be cool.
Well, I remember saying this on a previous pod. He drunkenly abused the Polish national manager on an airplane.
Yeah, but that can happen to anybody.
You're the kind of person who gets drunk enough to abuse your manager on an airplane.
Well, Paddy Kenny drunkenly leaves messages from Mark Hughes.
You've probably had your head turned and won't become a top class player. And Paddy Kenny hasn't become a top class player.
Yeah. Touche.
Still time.
For a goalkeeper, there is. They play till they're 40.
Okay. Moving on. Stoke 2, Newcastle 1. I'll tell you what annoyed me most about this was Walters' goal, because it was really good interplay from Stoke and completely blew away every paradigm of Stoke.
No, it should annoy you more, because they can do it. They just don't do it.
Yeah, it annoyed me. I'm saying it annoyed the crap out of me.
But, well, you should have been annoyed by the fact that, okay, Newcastle lost. I think it's 4 in a row.
Yep.
But crucially, in this one, I think this is the first one that they actually got the lead and then blew it. So they had their chance to win the game and just didn't take it. And that really annoyed Pardew, I'd say.
Well, you get the second thing that's been annoying. Second most annoying thing is Colaccini was back, and I've been saying all season, like, without Colaccini, we're not as good a team. And then boom, Cameron Jerome and Anega were space because Colo basically fell asleep and just let him run.
Yeah, it was a good play from Stoke, but I think 2 players went to Jones, Colaccini and
Colaccini Jerome Colaccini moved up to Mark Jerome, who was playing a bit deeper.
He came in behind him.
The ball just went along to Jones, who nodded it on, and Jerome ran onto it because Colaccini was 3 or 4 yards behind him.
He's only back from the suspension, so you can.
No, back from injury, okay. Back from a suspension, I want you.
It's
on it.
match fitness, as they say.
Was Cameron Jerome not supposed to be going to Leeds?
He was supposedly
It fell through
to leave on loan after the August transfer window. Never happened, and he's just stuck with the reserves and Jones as well.
Is Michael Owen fit yet?
I saw a tweet there from Michael Owen last week. Yeah, good news, guys. I'm in the best shape I've felt in years. Yeah, so not very good shape then.
That's why Cameron Jerome is possibly the fittest player you'll ever see, but not good enough to get into the team.
Can I ask a QPR related question? It's also kind of a Newcastle related question, but I forgot to ask earlier on. Did anybody see the Joey Barton press conference?
Where he spoke in a French accent?
Yeah.
He got a yellow card after 20 minutes in his first Olympic Marseille game. I probably should have been sent off.
Everybody want to talk about the tackle. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
It was much worse than the Steve McLaren one.
Look it up on YouTube if you're listening to us. Joey Barton, French accent, I'm assuming.
They'll get you there.
Yeah. Next game, Swansea 3, West Brom 1. Shane Long got rested and boom, look what happens. Lukaku took his goal really well, but Swansea were able to build from the back because Shane Long wasn't nipping at the defender's toes.
Yeah, he took his goal well, but it was too late by then. Swansea, but 3 of their goals were really good goals. I thought really good team goals. Particularly Routledge's second goal, I think, where they kind of worked it up the left and played it across.
That's the one where he just did a little chip on the goal line, or no?
That was kicked. That was kicked against them and went in. But I think they worked it up the left and played across, and Routledge kind of smashed it in. But I could be mixing Routledge's 2 goals up, but I don't think I am. But
no, I think you're right.
Yeah, great performance, great win for Swansea to actually break West Brom's run of form.
Streak, yeah, 4 wins in a row.
Yeah, so they'll hope to turn around again. That was just a blip, but maybe it's the same as Newcastle. That it'll all kind of collapse like a house of cards.
Okay, no need to rub it in. Swansea 3-1 against West Brom. On Swansea playing 3 wingers behind Michu, and it looked very dangerous.
Yeah, they're a very quick team, and Routledge doesn't normally score. He looked surprised when he got 2 in 5 minutes or whatever it was. He's got a really good.
Well, they were playing him behind the front man, which he played that position for QPR when he was there, and he got enough goals for them
in the championship. Yeah.
But he's never really scored in the Premier League. I think his first goal in the Premier League.
A couple of years, only last year maybe.
Ago.
Yeah, for Swansea, I think it was his first time scoring. But yeah, fair play to them. They're moving their way up the table.
Moving on, Tottenham 2, Liverpool 1. Then Bale returns for Spurs and they're back to winning ways. Is that a coincidence, Mark?
No. But just going back to the previous podcast where you suggested that Stuart Down was a great left back. And,
no, I didn't suggest he was a great left back.
Too late. It's out there.
Wait a second. You said that.
No, I didn't. When you suggested that,
there's no way of knowing.
When you suggested that Stuart Down was a world class left back, I was just going to say wait till the next podcast because I don't know.
Is this the podcast where you said Gaston Ramirez was
outstanding? I don't think I ever said that. Anyway, Downing, your favourite player, must make look like a fool for the first goal where he's kind of looking all around him like an idiot and Lennon nipped it into score.
And Bale is really starting to hit top form. Modric and Van der Vaart. He's been missing Modric and Van der Vaart, and Dempsey's finally starting to settle in.
I keep seeing stories about Bale that Gareth Bale denies being a diver. Is the headline? Is Gareth Bale a diver? Do we think that?
The only player to be booked twice this season for simulation in the Premier League.
Yeah, but that's more to do with the referees not doing it consistently. I don't think that's Gareth.
No, he dives. Though.
Is he the worst diver in the league?
No, that's actually Young.
Is Ashley Young the worst diver in the league?
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
Oh yeah.
Based on this season alone?
No.
Well then, let's talk.
Ashley Young hasn't been playing this season. Bale this season. Bale this
I
season.
don't. I don't think Gareth Bale is a particularly bad diver. It comes back to that whole thing of if you're extremely quick, you can probably fall over easier if you get pushed. I don't know. I've never.
The Damien Duff effect of feel a hand in your back and go down, where it's
well,
not really
Damien
a dive,
Duff.
but it's
In
not
fairness,
really a
Damien Duff for years he's got hacked and hacked and hacked.
Yeah, but he's also a master of going down with no pressure, really.
Yeah, but it's like, but if they're gonna fail me all the time, I was like, go down all the time.
He would.
Dempsey's dive, you know.
Yeah, that was a shocking dive.
We're not talking best dive, because the best dive was Suarez and his little.
Well, the dive.
I'm taking a kick. I'll walk 3 steps and then fall over.
Well, it led to the second goal. Like from that free kick, Bale scored. Dempsey had dived. There's no contact at all.
That's a good question for the Facebook. Worst diver in the league.
Worst diver.
And leave your club allegiances at the door. We actually want facts. We want good debate.
Okay, I don't think Bale dived this time though. Owen though, Henderson ahead of Sahin. Discuss.
Bizarre. They've been trying him out in home midfield and letting Gerrard.
You can't see Owen's face right now, but he looks confused. He's thinking about his answer here. And he's just like, I don't even know where
it's a real chin scratcher.
I've been startled for the last couple of weeks when he came on and played there against Chelsea. I think.
Who, Henderson?
Henderson against Wigan. He came on, and they did okay and scored eventually from it, but that just happened to be coincidence that Henderson was playing whole midfield. How Sahin's not playing, I don't know. They've got him on loan from Real Madrid, and he's German Player of the Year a couple of years ago. He has to play every week.
Looking at your face now, I wonder what your face was like when Henderson missed the open goal.
Yeah, that's a happy face.
Wasn't a happy face, put it that way.
He was looking around the room thinking it was some kind of reality TV show to see it.
John set this up. This is going to go up on the YouTube channel.
This is a joke. It's been CGI somehow.
I did have a happy face, even though Liverpool was still losing. when Bale scored an own goal, because it rocketed off his face and actually flattened him. Absolutely flattened.
He dived.
He dived for that, yeah.
No contact at all. He got the ball and went down.
Speaking... I got nothing there. Man United won, West Ham 0, and United didn't go behind for once. You happy, Mark?
Yeah, they made sure by scoring after 33 seconds. There was very little time to go behind before they scored. No, I wasn't too happy because you have to kick on from there. You run a big risk by I've said kick on a lot this podcast, a lot.
Go down, kick on. They both seem to be coming up a lot.
Trying to
Everybody
form
sense. Will we take that? We'll just leave it hanging in the air there for a few seconds,
or we just kick on and keep going.
But
press ahead this time.
Yeah, they should have pressed. They should have pressed ahead. Yeah, and but they won the game, so that's the most important thing. Did Van Persie mean that little chip turn thing?
Question. I think
is he Bergkamp in disguise? Is he Bergkamp in disguise?
I think Bergkamp definitely meant it, because Bergkamp had gotten to a stage where he knew Dabazas was just going to be up his ass every time. So he knew, right, if I just play it over my shoulder, then I'll get past him. Whereas, because this was so early in the game, I think Van Persie was just trying to get the ball into that position and thought, well, he could handle it, anything could happen, and he just got lucky.
Carrick hit it quite quick at him as well. There was a lot of pace on the ball, so maybe
I think he was just trying to control it and bring it into the box, and the fact that it went over... Was it Winston Reid?
Yeah.
It went over Winston Reid's head was just a bit of a fluke.
But even the fact that he took a massive deflection to go in, even if he did mean it, the deflection kind of halved the amazingness of the goal.
Yeah, whereas Bergkamp just slotted past the keeper.
Also,
cool.
Winston is an interesting first name.
I like Winston.
Winston Churchill.
New Zealand international played in the World Cup.
Winnie was poo in that match.
Yes! What was it? Winston Reid. Winston Reid was a World Cup rugby player.
No, soccer. He played in the 2010 World Cup.
Oh, okay. Yes, I get you.
That's where he made his breakthrough.
Winston. Interesting name.
Okay. I've not got anything else on this match, does it, anyway?
No.
Okay. Wigan 0, Man City 2, and Aguero went off, and a few seconds later, Balotelli scored. Do you think he was buoyed by the fact that he was back ahead of Aguero for once?
No, I think it was the ball was bouncing around the box and he finished it. So it was just got a bit of luck there. So no, there was just a bit of luck involved.
He kept being pretty bad afterwards then, didn't he? He was horrible up to that point.
Yeah, was fairly sluggish performance from him as per usual. But yeah, he had a couple of chances just before that goal, and they had a couple of attempts like for scoring the goal. I think Al Habsi blocked him down a couple of times before he actually eventually finished.
Oh
it off.
man,
That's what he said. And Milner's goal was a great goal. In fairness to him, he's not a great player, but he can hit the ball.
I'm sensing some kind of history there between yourself and James Milner.
I was just like, what? He's not a great player. Okay, fair enough.
He's not really.
He's not the best player in the world. He's never going to win the Ballon d'Or.
To bring on him for Aguero, I know he came on for Aguero and he scored from it, but he seems a bit of a nothing player really for £24 million.
Kolarov came on for Aguero.
That's right.
Milner did Milner start?
He may have.
No,
Milner came on.
Milner
Yeah,
came
because
on.
I remember thinking, oh, he's definitely coming on, and now
Sorry,
he's come
yeah,
off.
that's right. Yeah, he came on for Javi Garcia.
Yeah,
who wasn't playing too well at the time. Another pointless signing. I think.
Yeah, flop of the season.
Javi Garcia.
I rate Javi Garcia. I think he just needs time to settle. Like a certain, I don't know. I can't think of a player who's had that kind of
Morelos.
situation. Yeah.
So do we think that Balotelli's going to be sold soon? And if when?
Yeah.
If so, when?
Maybe in the summer.
If they can buy Falcao, they'll sell Balotelli.
And who are they going to sell him to? And
Milan when they get the money.
AC Milan will loan him initially
for a couple of years.
Agree some kind of deal where they pay $2 million a year for 10 years or something.
Balotelli will be happy to go back to his mafia mates.
Yep.
In Italy.
He follows AC Milan. Apparently, when he was at Inter,
there's a video on YouTube. It's hilarious.
Picking up while he's at Inter Milan, putting on an AC Milan jersey, which was
they almost killed him for that.
Yeah,
the Inter fans. How embarrassing would that be? Can you imagine like a United player just putting on a City top and an eye out? But did you ever see? There's a video as well of I think it was Adebayor was wearing an Arsenal top when he was at City.
Oh, when
what?
The Togo team
when
were
they were
shot. Remember the bus was shot up. He said
interview.
he ran home. He didn't run home through like 2 countries. He got the first flight home, and all like
that would be the most running he's done.
He did an interview for CNN, and he'd given gear to his brother at home in Africa, and all he had was Arsenal tracksuits. So he just threw that on for the interview. Although he was
fair enough.
But the funny bit about it at the time was that it's like really traumatic experience for him, and the kind of fans are like, "Here, why is he wearing that?" He's actually, we need an explanation as to why he's wearing Arsenal gear.
He just held his agent's, like just seen his agent die, and he's held him as he's died. I don't know why is he wearing an Arsenal gear.
Well, that's as good a place as any to end that part, I think. Well, I'm going to break out guitar now, and we'll listen to me play for 3 seconds. Okay, you ready?
Ding, 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 ding.
How did you know I was going to play that? Hello, and welcome back to Backpage Pass again. We're now going to look ahead to game week 15, and I'd like to start with a big, exciting game. But the early kickoff is West Ham versus Chelsea, so this pretty much has 0-0 written all over it, doesn't it?
If only if Frank Lampard was playing, because the West Ham fans could then sing, "Frank Lampard, you let your kids down," which is the harshest chant.
Did they sing that?
Yeah, you let your kids down.
Does he have kids?
It's because I think it's because there's a rumor that he cheated on his wife or something.
Really?
Yeah. Imagine how harsh that would be. Take a corner, like, you let your kids down. How more personal can you get?
Well, I've heard some more personal ones. Like the Arsenal one about Posh Boys was always pretty personal.
Well, what was that one? I didn't hear that.
I don't
you
think
can
I
cut it out. You can cut it out.
Does she take it up?
Oh yeah. But
I want to move on to the next match, but the next match is Arsenal, so let's stay on this one. What's Benitez going to do to try and get things moving forward?
Play everyone up front. No, you can cut that.
Let's be more realistic here, on.
No, he'll bring Mata back in. I think he'll stay 4-4-1-1 and play Mata in behind Torres.
Do you think Bertrand will be on the left? And
he might put Hazard there. He might leave Hazard on the bench, or he could put Hazard on the left and play
We're just.
Sorry.
Who knows? Oriol Romeo might get a run out again. Played against Fulham.
Played well. They don't really have Xabi Alonso. Kind of made everything work when Benitez played well, and the closest they have is Romeo, and he's not even anywhere close.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mark?
Well, it was put to Benitez the other night after the nil with Fulham. Would he be are you better off being away from home because everyone hates you here? And he didn't really answer, but you kind of got the feeling that actually that's not a bad point, was what he was thinking. I'm happy to be away now. Maybe he is better off. Maybe they'll feel under less pressure being away from home. Who knows? But you have to expect them to win, even though they're on are they 6 games without a win? Has it been that long?
It was 4.
Because Swansea, West Brom.
They had 2 points from 4 games before that. Before Benitez was appointed, and then
Yeah, so 6 games. So they need a win.
Oh, and then there was the Champions League game, so 7.
No, it's the Champions League game, not in the 4.
I don't know.
Anyway, they need a win. Big game to get it in because West Ham are going to want to beat them because it's derby.
And West Ham have been needing points lately because they were doing well and now they're doing not quite as well. Arsenal versus Swansea. Swansea outplayed Arsenal last year. Do you think that'll happen again, Owen?
They outplayed them in Wales, but Arsenal had the better of them in the Emirates. Well, actually, sorry, they didn't. It was 1-0, and there was one mistake from Michel Vorm, who threw it off the defender, and Arshavin capitalised. So, Arsenal don't seem to cope too well against teams that can play similar to them. So it'll be an interesting one to see.
And Wenger will have 150 million to spend in January, apparently. Well, he'll have 40 million. They signed a deal worth 150. Sorry. They signed a deal worth 150 million with the Emirates Airlines, and he'll now have 40 million. But I've been hearing he has 50 million every transfer window for the last 4 years or something.
What's 40 million going to get him, though?
Gotcha.
Okay, so Gotcha or
10 players for 4 million.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to bring them in the type of player that they actually need to be a title contender. And if you were Wenger, where would you start strengthening the squad?
Strikers.
But they just bought 2 of those in the summer.
Defensive midfielder.
Yeah, Diaby, they need something there.
Song's gone. I mean, Coquelin is very good. Will be a very good player, but he's just not quite there.
But they banked on Diaby being fit when they sold Song. Like, he didn't really seem too bothered when they sold him.
Why would you do that?
But that's what I mean. They banked on a guy who hadn't been fit in 2 years to be fit. It's like saying, "Oh yeah, well it's okay because we have Owen Hargreaves." You know what I mean? No, you have to have a bit of a track record, and so yeah, they do. I think they need players in an awful lot of positions, even goalkeeper. Don't trust any of those goalkeepers.
Szczesny probably could have done better against Fellaini's. He just didn't seem to stretch all the way. He still seems a bit injured.
But even across the back 4 as well, everyone's going on about how great Carl Jenkinson is. It's not that long ago that everyone was going on about how shit Carl Jenkinson is.
Well, he was 19 that long ago.
Yeah, but like, I mean, the 8-2 game, Theo Walcott murdering him before he gets sent off. That's the same guy. And they're saying this is world-class right back.
He's older and he's better and he will get good.
Yeah, but they're not title contenders, and so 40 million, they're not going anywhere but 4th.
Okay, fair enough. Fulham versus Tottenham. Fulham in a bit of a rut. Spurs looking to build on the Liverpool victory. Which way do we see this going?
I can see it being a draw. Plenty of goals because, Fulham need a result, so they'll be up for it. It's a derby. And Spurs are on a bit of a roll, so they'll be going with a lot of confidence. Bale has a lot of confidence in the last couple of games. He made some great runs against Liverpool, so he'll be expected to do that against Fulham.
I think actually Fulham might win this game. I have a strange feeling that Tottenham's inconsistency is actually going to cost them because they were 2-0 up against Liverpool, and Liverpool were probably unlucky not to get a draw out of the game overall, and so I think they're showing a lot of inconsistency at the moment.
They just couldn't face up to the challenge well. Bale faced up to it pretty.
I could see that joke forming inside you, like just slowly piecing itself together.
How will I work the word face into a sentence?
No, face. Just go with face.
And Dembele and Dempsey have to face their old crowd.
Oh Jesus! Oh man!
How How will the crowd react to Dembele and Dempsey coming back? I reckon Dembele might get a decent,
Yeah.
but Dempsey's just going to get harangued.
He stopped. He didn't go on their tour.
He went on
tour.
strike. I love when players go on strike.
Yeah, he went on strike for the last couple of weeks of his Fulham career.
Taking the ball and going home.
No, burst it. He burst it. No, he kicked it over a fence.
He put a key in it. But none of the other lads could train. No, but yeah, he won't get it. He will be jeered from first minute if he will start. Yeah, he showed a lot of he disrespected the club before he left, so he won't be too happy about that.
They should have let him go, though. They should have just said, "Here, if you want to go."
Well, they did.
I know, but like, he shouldn't have had to do all that kind of stuff, striking stuff, because he did a lot for Fulham. You know, no, it's very petty to say, "Well, we're not going to let you go to Liverpool. We're not going to let you go to Spurs." Like, poor him, or isn't he an asshole for having ambitions in his career? You know, so Fulham fans are generally quite placid anyway. So I don't see it being a riot.
They didn't exactly riot when somebody put a statue of a paedophile outside the stadium, so.
Allegedly.
Sorry. Liverpool versus Southampton. It kind of depends on how well Lambert and Ramirez play, I think.
Well, especially you got.
Well, how well at the edited, how well.
Yeah. Well, when you got that bum Ramirez in your team, you really need Lambert to be on full goal scoring form. But yeah, you can take this one.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot, 1 or 2-0 to Liverpool. They seem to cope well with the newly, yeah, you could say that.
Let's call a spade here, Mark. What do you really think?
Newly promoted teams at home, so they should be okay.
And own goal is currently second highest scorer for Liverpool. What will they do if Suarez gets an injury?
He's a sound lad, isn't he? Owen goal.
Michael Owen. It's been a while.
Rooney pen last season.
What you call it? What will they do if Suarez gets injured or suspended for 8 games? Because he's due one.
He is due.
He's due a suspension for an extended period.
Bite someone, maybe. They could put Shelby up front. They tried that during the Europa League during the week. It was quite tragic. Yeah. He scored.
That sounds so desperate. Like.
Yeah, a holding midfielder. Holding midfielder at Charlton. Play him up front.
Gary Doherty. Bring him back. Put him up front.
No, they have Adam Morgan. They have Danny Pacheco.
I don't know who either of those people are.
Well, Danny Pacheco's been in the Liverpool team for 4 or 5 years. He was top scorer in the
team or in the squad?
In the squad, but he got top scorer in the Under-19 World Cup a couple of years ago for Spain, and he's went back on loan to Atletico Madrid, and he looked like a decent prospect, but he hasn't.
They need Ngog back.
What if that lad had been in the Liverpool team for the last 4 or 5 years? We may as well just pack up and go home.
Well, he's top scorer at the moment. The Under-21 league, he's the top scorer. So,
what about just Giuseppe Rossi? Would you be happy if they bought him? Because
he's 30 million.
No, he's not. Yeah. He's coming back from his cruciate knee injuries. Villarreal are second in the Spanish league. I think the Spanish Championship. Villarreal are skint and basically coming back from injury. You can't really demand 30 million. So,
but he won't be back till March.
I think March. I think was the time set for him to be fully fit. So I can't see Liverpool buying him in the end of January. They spent 50 million on Carroll and Aquilani alone when they were injured. You know how that turned out. So
yeah, I just think even if Liverpool don't buy him, somebody's going to buy him. I think in the summer, and it's going to be a great buy because it's going to be really cheap.
He's still young.
I remember Newcastle had him on loan and played him once, and I was so angry at Glenn Roeder. Play him. We're 14th in the league. Play him.
I think United will get a little bit of that transfer money, so I hope Liverpool buy him.
Oh, they still have first refusal. They can still buy him for like 10
they can,
million.
but they don't want him because they have 4 strikers.
They could buy him and then sell him on. They can at least make a
that's
million.
That's what we did already.
Like they'd have to wait a year as well, so he'd rot in the reserves.
Unlike Makeda or
Makeda played actually
the
recently.
youth.
Makeda, he played against Galatasaray. Poor guy. Remember he burst onto scene at 17, banging it against Aston Villa, and everyone was like, "This guy's going to be amazing."
And then he wasn't.
No, his career is over. He's washed up at like 21.
That's a shame. Man City versus Everton. Fellaini will want to show the big clubs what he can do, won't he? This is his kind of game. Cameras on him.
I do fancy him to score because a lot of teams find it difficult to cope with him, particularly off set pieces. But overall, you have to expect City you're going to win the game.
Company will have him though, right? Company's.
Yeah.
Now, he is good from set pieces, but a lot of people forget the fact that he's really, really good with his feet as well, Fellaini, even though he's huge.
Sunderland know all about it.
Yeah. And the 2 goals are goal and assist last time.
Or he nutmegged. He nutmegged John O'Shea twice.
Yeah, so he's a threat from both attacking positions.
And Tevez hasn't been starting. Like, he has to start this one, right?
Was he not just being rested last week or in midweek?
Well, he didn't start the Sunday game either against Chelsea. And he didn't start against Real Madrid either. I mispronounced Real Madrid there, but let's go with it anyway. He hasn't been starting.
Maybe something happened in training that he's just fallen out of favour. Surely you can't have Balotelli ahead of him though.
Balotelli was out for a while, wasn't he? Maybe he's given him his chance as well to see what he can do, because Tevez started brightly this season. Hasn't been scoring as much, but he wanted to give Balotelli a chance, but I'd say Tevez will be back in, even though Balotelli scored.
Yeah, so our next game is QPR at home to Aston Villa.
1-1 draw.
Mm-hmm. Do you reckon?
Without question. It's going to be the exact same as when QPR played Reading a couple of weeks ago at home. 1-1 draw.
And
Conviction.
Darren Bent is another player who hasn't been playing, and he looks like he needs a move. And you kind of expect him to go to QPR or that type of club. Me and Owen were discussing this last night. Mark, where do you think Darren Bent can feasibly go?
Are we allowed to talk about Darren Bent now? Because
yeah.
I'm biting my tongue for too long now about Darren Bent. Where can he go? Well, I think I asked this a couple of weeks ago who would actually want Darren Bent and who would actually want Darren.
Obviously, none of the okay, go, sorry.
Well, he went from Sunderland to Villa in a big transfer, which was a really kind of sideways move for big money, which really quite pointless. And he kind of kicked up his, I don't know what you kick up, but you kick up something to get a move, and so that's what he did. Yeah, kick up a fuss. Thank you. He kicked up a fuss for a move, and was it worth it? Probably not, because then shortly after that they sold Young and Downing and everybody else who had any ambition in that club. So
to pay for him.
Yeah. So who would take him? Would Liverpool take him? Maybe a couple of years ago.
I think Rodgers would have the same problem that Lambert has in that.
QPR will take him.
But do you remember a few years ago when he had that chance for Spurs and Harry said, my granny would have scored that?
Yeah.
I don't think Bent reacted very well to that. Yeah,
but then again, Harry also had a few, I think, words about Tarap, and he's saying that he's going to keep him. So, you forgive and forget.
But he's stuck with Tarap. It's not like, well,
no, he got rid of him out of Spurs.
Yeah, I know, but he's at a club now where he has Tarap, and he won't won't get value for money if he sells him right now. Whereas with Bent, he doesn't have to buy Bent.
Maybe Lille will buy Darren Bent, the French team.
Yeah, it is their kind of thing.
Yeah.
Isn't
it? Go through the league. Who's going to buy Darren Bent?
Well, he's always not going Chelsea, either of the Manchester teams.
Arsenal, no.
Newcastle, we have is strikers. Can't go Tottenham. Can't.
Sunderland. Can go back to Sunderland.
Can't go back to Sunderland.
Fulham don't want him. They've got Berbatov.
No, they Ruiz as well.
West Ham, Reading, Pavleniak, Lafondra.
Wigan?
No.
I can't see him going to Wigan. Why would you want to go to Wigan? So no, he's stuck where he is.
QPR is probably the only one. Even though Redknapp doesn't get along with him, I think he might just follow his stride and join them on loan anyway.
And then get relegated with them.
Yeah. Well, he's going down no matter where he goes.
Leicester, his old club, are actually doing quite well in the Championship at the moment. They're well into the title race, so maybe things aren't going too well for him towards the end of January. He's still being left out of the squad.
Was he a Leicester man?
Yeah.
Was he a Charlton man?
Leicester and Charlton, yeah.
Yeah.
Both him and his brother Marcus played for both clubs.
He's my brother. They weren't actually brothers. Well, they're brothers in that they're both
No,
black.
they are brothers.
Are they
Aside
actually?
from the...
No, they're not.
I don't know.
No, I didn't think they were. No.
Jesus, shot myself in the foot there.
Every opinion Owen has ever had just became invalid right there.
Celtic should loan him. Do a bit of a Craig Bellamy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be
Although
decent,
they've
yeah.
plenty of strikers. Hooper's great.
But they've got also
Stokes,
plenty of games coming up.
Samaras.
Stokes is on the way out, I think.
Yeah, Stokes can be swept aside in a.
He was joint top scorer in the league, I think, last season.
Last season, but he
Yeah,
hasn't played that much this
He's
season
been
yet.
injured. Anyway, moving on from Stokes. West Brom v Stoke, funnily enough. West Brom's defence had a shocker against Swansea. Be interesting to see if there's any changes in the back four.
Well, you don't become a bad team after one game, but I don't see them winning that match. I think Stoke will cling on for a draw there. But I hope Long gets back in because he'll cause Stoke more problems than Lukaku on his own will.
Yeah, I can see Stoke being stubborn and taking a draw from it as well. I don't expect West Brom to collapse, though. I think they've still got a lot more in them.
And the late kickoff on Saturday is Reading versus Manchester United. Does Fergie rotate or does he stick with the same team? Like, he has a lot of talented wingers and they don't really fit into his diamond.
Rotate, I think. Say for example, Anderson came in against West Ham. He'll probably go straight back out. But and Jones, you could see getting a game.
I don't think Anderson can play 2 games in a week.
How do you mean, fitness wise?
Yeah.
Well, it's more so. Well, he probably could because he hasn't played in a few weeks before that. But I'd say you see Jones get a game. Ferdinand will probably come back in as well. So you will see a good few changes. And who knows, even De Gea could come back in because they don't really know what goalkeeper they want these days.
Yeah. On the Sunday, Norwich are at home to Sunderland. There's a chance for Norwich to put some distance between themselves and the drop zone.
They could nick it because Sunderland don't seem to know how to score. So I can see Norwich taking it to them from the start and nicking a goal, 1-0 maybe.
I'm going to go for 1-1 as well.
And Sunderland are just 1 point more than Southampton at the moment. They could go into the drop zone.
It's comfy on this fence. Yeah. Again, it's kind of the same with Villa. Until they're actually in the bottom 3, I think they'll be okay.
They'll be okay. Newcastle versus Wigan. I mentioned Sunderland being 1 point from the relegation zone. Newcastle have just 1 more point than them. So, is it again until they end up down there? You're going to be like
Newcastle have 1 more point in Sunderland.
Yep.
Because I was going to ask you a few minutes ago how long before Sunderland catches up. Newcastle are too good to go down. I don't want to curse them, but I think they'll be fine.
Oh, I don't like a Mark Corcoran prediction. That's never helpful.
They probably could just use to get out of the Europa League as soon as possible. Unless you actually want to win the thing.
Yeah, I think we do. A bit of status, I think, is what we're banking on. And Wigan could easily dominate a depleted Newcastle midfield. Cisse and Bab can't both start, I don't think.
No, Wigan can play some stuff. So Newcastle, after a run of 4 defeats, will probably take a draw, I think.
Probably need more men in the midfield. Anyway, okay then. That's it for another back page past. I just got a major case of deja vu there because I said that just an hour ago. We'd like to thank everybody who listened to either of the Game Week 13 and 14 double-header pods. If you only listened to one, I would like to encourage you to go back and listen to the other one.
If you didn't listen to any, please listen to one. But then again, you won't hear this.
Okay, like us on Facebook or subscribe to our YouTube channel to make sure that you never miss a pod ever. And once again, a big thanks from me, Owen, Grace, and Mark Corcoran for listening. And we'll talk to you
why did you laugh when he said my name?
Because of how badly I said Owen's name. We'll talk to you again next week.